You're listening to The Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gonzalez.
We get to travel internationally, vicariously through volunteer today.
As usual.
Thanks to Concordia University, Wisconsin for supporting The Coffee Hour. Find out more about Concordia University, Wisconsin at cuw.edu.
Live uncommon.
Joining us today, Ann Gonzalez. She's manager of short-term mission training and engagement with LCMS International Mission. Welcome back, Ann.
It's always great to be here.
And you brought along today a volunteer joining us remotely today. We have Matt Pleshek, is volunteer with English Bible camps and served in Czech Republic this time.
Correct.
I'm excited to learn more about that. Matt, welcome to the Coffee Hour.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Matt, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you come from, and then we'll learn more about how you got connected with this opportunity to serve.
Right. I'm Matt Pleshek, and I'm from northeastern Wisconsin area, close to Green Bay. You probably know of the Packers, Green Bay Packers. That's where I kind of hail from, about 30 miles west of there. Yes, I work as a civil engineer here in actually my hometown of Shawano, Wisconsin, and I'm the city engineer with the Department of Public Works here in the city. And yes, I went to school. I've been in the bachelor's degree from the University of Wisconsin-Madison in engineering, and been in this line of work for probably quite a 30 years. So yeah, that's me. I have a wife and 3 beautiful children. They're all teenagers. We're at a critical moment in their lives. Ava's 18, Lila's 16, and James is 14. So yeah, it's all good here.
Very good. So how did you get to learn about the opportunity to serve as an English Bible camp volunteer?
Well, yes, I actually I'm in a congregation in the village of Bondwell, St. Paul Lutheran Church, and part of the Missouri Synod. And just, to hear stories about missionaries or mission work. And I've always thought about possibly doing, a mission service. Never really had the opportunity as an adult because of, just a lot of things going on in my life. But it seemed to me that there was a point in time here now that my life kind of straightened away, and I had some opportunities to possibly get away for, a mission work. And then I just actually searched on the LCMS website is what I did, and found out about the conversational partners with the Czech Republic, and it was just an online 1 hour a week commitment. So that's really how it all started. Anne probably knows a lot about that, and
yeah, those are still going too.
Yeah.
So that was the previous program where folks would volunteer online with one of our missionaries and do one-on-one or one-on-two conversation partners, and then of course we approach those people about serving in person as well. Although it's not required.
Matt, so as you volunteered with the conversation partners online and got to meet people, what did you learn? What did you experience? And what did you learn about our friends in the Czech Republic?
Well, yes, that was, I guess, the start of it all. That was just, exciting to Czech partners. That they're really desiring to talk to English speakers, first language English speakers like ourselves, and they learn Czech there. That's their language that they speak mainly. But now, since the fall of communism back in the 89, I believe, they can actually learn English as their second language first off. Before that, they had to learn Russian. The communists made them do that. So they're going towards English now for quite a few years, quite a few decades now, but they're still in need of people to talk English with. And just the kids are excited to just talk to somebody in English. And obviously they want to know about America, just their worldview of America is the best place to be, best place to live. But it was just exciting to meet a different culture and to learn a little bit about them as well.
How did that inspire you to serve further, or did Anne get to you before that?
Well, I'm Czech by nature, by heritage. So I'm half Czech, and I always am interested in the Czech Republic just because of that. Some of my grandparents had certain traditions that, I just enjoyed a part of it, and I wanted to learn more about it. So I guess after, just meeting the kids, not only kids, but some adults too, through the partners conversations. The kids were just, you could just feel the excitement that, they wanted to meet you and, talk with you about certain things about their lives. And it just led me to be interested in what they were doing. I know how they, did things as either teenagers or young adults and actually middle schoolers online. So they all had their, just meeting people basically online was, through mission service, through its safe in the LCMS portal and how they had it all set up it was just, really enjoyable for me. So I just wanted to do more. And then I said, well, maybe I can do this service over for a couple weeks and just started my way into that.
So tell us more about making preparations to serve as a volunteer with English Bible Camp. What did you need to do to get ready before you actually got on the plane and headed to the Czech Republic? What are the ways you prepared?
Right. Yes. I commend the LCMS for what they have put together as far as, an application, the review process, the referencing. I had to get a reference from my pastor and a couple other individuals, friends of mine, to make a reference on my nature, I guess, and, how I was with people. And they did that. All of my references did that, thankfully, for me. It must have been in the right way. And I did God's work as well that Anne, reviewed. And, I did a phone interview with her and I was selected. So I guess it was all pretty, laid out and pretty easy to do. And then after I was selected, well, then it all, more additional things started to happen with getting the curriculum. That was a very big thing. At LCMS is also missionaries over there in the Czech Republic have, worked hard to put a very good curriculum together for, the 5 days that I did serve at the English Bible Camp. So it wasn't something that I had to do, come up with my curriculum or anything. They had that all laid out, set out, sent to me. And it was pretty much that I was just in the position to deliver that curriculum to the students there. So yeah, it was pretty straightforward. I guess the other things were just traveling abroad, making sure I had certain, charging for different electrical outlets. I mean, there's just a few things that you need to prepare for, obviously passports and flights and all that. And it was fun to do, easy setup by LCMS as well. They pretty much have these mileposts to get you, all the information where it's set up really nice and easy to do.
What were you looking forward to once you were able to get your hands on the material and start studying the curriculum and all of those things? What were you looking forward to then as you were getting ready to deploy out to the Czech Republic?
Well, I guess I can be honest and say I'm not a teacher by trade. I'm an engineer, so I'm kind of right-brained and just kind of get projects done. And I'm more in the technical part of things. And I really don't do a lot with teaching. And I was a bit like, I hope I can, serve this and do it well as a kid. But, obviously like, yourself, it just how this was all going to play out was kind of, I didn't know about it. So I was a little bit nervous, I guess, anxious, maybe a bit. But I guess I just said, well, I really want to do this. And if I just have an open mind to kids and, being there for them, doing what I could, just, to teach them a little English. And the biggest part I felt was the Bible lesson was just a good way to maybe plant seeds of faith in them and just I'd be open and try to have fun with it. And I guess I just, that's what I mean. I guess I really look forward to if I could do it. And it actually worked out really wonderful for me. So yeah, it was a great experience.
We have more to learn about. I have a couple I have more questions. I'm intrigued now about this family connection in your Czech heritage and how that connected, if you found more connections there once you connected with people in the Czech Republic serving as a volunteer. Our guest today, Matt Pleshek, he's a volunteer with the English Bible camps and LCMS International Mission, and Ann Gonzalez, manager of short-term mission training and engagement with LCMS International Mission. We'll continue the conversation in just a moment right here on the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gonzalez.
At Concordia University, Wisconsin, we believe you were created for a reason: to use your God-given gifts to help others, to live a life of self-sacrifice in a me-first world, to live a life that's uncommon. Whether you're taking one of 50-plus online programs or learning with us in person on the shores of Lake Michigan, you'll be equipped to make an uncommon impact. Learn more at cuw.edu. Concordia University, Wisconsin. Live uncommon.
Welcome back to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gonzalez.
We are traveling internationally today, vicariously through our friend Matt Pleshek. He's a volunteer with the English Bible camps and LCMS International Mission, and Ann Gonzalez, manager of short-term mission training and engagement with LCMS International Mission. Matt, before we went to break, we're learning about how you prepared to serve as a volunteer with English Bible camps in the Czech Republic. Tell us about traveling there, getting there, and what was your first day like in the Czech Republic?
Oh, yeah. That was the thing. Well, as the airfare is now, it's kind of up and down depending on where you're going, what your flights are and stuff. But was really pretty straightforward for me. I had three flights to, manage to get there, and actually spent a few days before my service in Prague in the Czech Republic. I always wanted to go there. So I said, well, this is the time. I don't do some sightseeing there. So I decided to do that. And it went straightforward. Flew Delta Airlines. Didn't have any hangups. My luggage, thankfully, came along with me.
Good.
Got there. So
You were the one person who made it.
yeah, I mean, we all made it, but a lot of the luggage got lost for my partner that I met up with once we got there, and I felt so bad for him because they spent like almost their whole trip without their luggage, and had I just felt so sorry, so bad for him. But I had my luggage and worked out great. And where I served was actually not near Prague. It actually was on the Polish, Slovak, and the Czech border area, Silesia it's called. So it was about a 4-hour train ride from Prague to get there. So it's very easy to travel in the Czech Republic as far as transportation for people is mainly by train, and instead of like America, it's mostly by car. So I didn't have to rent a car or anything. I just jump on the public train transportation and got to where I needed to be for my service. So yeah, it was all very rewarding. It's kind of like a trip onto my mission service as well. So it really all kind of worked out for the best for me. It was a great trip.
So tell me about your experiences with the English Bible camp. What did your days look like while you were serving?
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, we were housed at like a Christian retreat center that had some boarding rooms. They were like small hotel rooms. That's where we stayed. I served with on my immediate team, or my American team that that I served with was a woman from Arizona and a woman from Kansas, and us three went to a congregation in a village, a small, well, it was about, I think, 1,500 to 2,000 people village, mountain village, and with a nice congregation. And we went there each day by car. The vicar or the associate pastor picked us up every morning, and then we went to the congregational school and their facility that we did the English Bible camp at. So then they served us a wonderful breakfast, and then the kids came at about 9:00, and then we started our day. And we started the day off with an English lesson that was about 45 minutes, and then a Bible lesson after that, which used the English vocabulary in the Bible lesson for about 45 minutes. And then after that, we had like a 3 rotation of like craft and games and music. So that, well, in between that is those crafts, games, and music was also lunch. That's always a big thing, you know. Part of the day is lunch, and had beautiful weather, got to get outside for the games. And then the children's ages were from 7 years old to 12 years old. And then at about 2:00, they were dismissed to about 2:30, I guess, where they were picked up again by their parents. So that was the day, but it was great. We had a great, not only us 3, but there was a big Czech team there too, which was commendable. Young adults, part of their young adults group, ages from 15 to, I'd say some of them were like 25, just young adults that were part of the community, part of the congregation, most of them. And the kids all knew of them, and they were kind of like role models, and they were our helpers and our interpreters. So they were wonderful. They knew their equipment and knew where everything was at. So it was a big collaboration of delivering the camp.
Now, Matt, did you already know the 2 ladies that you were on a team with?
Oh, well, yeah, I did know them, but I hadn't met them face to face. We did probably like 5 weeks or 6. Every Sunday for an hour, we met like on a Teams meeting, just online for an hour, and we obviously could see each other. But then we had the curriculum delivered, already that we read through, and then we just started kind of setting up how we would run the camp together. And first thing we did was say, well, I took the oldest kids, and then Amy from Arizona took the youngest kids, and then Lene was our leader of us 3. Because she had served once before at a camp in Czech. So she was our leader, and then she took the middle group. So we determined that, and then we just started preparing and supplies and, just understanding what we were all going to deliver. And yeah, we met online, but then we got to meet over there together.
Awesome.
How did that preparation, being able to connect with your teammates online prior to being on the ground in the Czech Republic, how did that help you through your daily activities in the Czech Republic?
Oh, right. Yeah, I guess it's first just getting to know people. It's great now that we have video cameras and, can meet on these virtual, well, not virtual, but it's just online meetings. It's almost like face-to-face, not quite, but it's pretty close. So yeah, that's an excellent, if we just had to talk on the phone, it would be maybe not as, it was nice. We got to know each other, every time we met for an hour, even an hour a week. You just get to know people and how they do things and what they're good at, the more you talk, the more you can figure things out. And it was very enjoyable. And obviously we were all trying to deliver a faith-based program, and being that we were all in the same synod, and we could talk about our churches, and it's really easy to open up to people that are, I guess you're going on a mission to do a good thing, and they're a very close, similar beliefs to what you have. So it wasn't too hard to actually just get together and team up. Because of our faith that we've each come from. And
you had the opportunity. You had the opportunity to connect with your teammates online in advance to help build those relationships, so that when you were on the ground in the Czech Republic for English Bible camps, you were able then to also connect with those you were serving. And you mentioned something earlier that usually provides an opportunity to connect with others. You mentioned breakfast and lunch, and meals are just a great way to connect with others and build relationships. And it would be out of character if I skipped over the food question.
It's true. It's very
because
true.
I always have to ask about food when our friends serve internationally. Tell us about the food. Now, you mentioned earlier having some Czech heritage and your family having some traditions. Did any of those traditions prepare you for some of the Czech meals that you would get to experience, breakfast and lunch? You mentioned so far. Did they did you have any idea what you might get to experience for breakfast and lunch with your friends in the Czech Republic?
Well, yeah, I was looking forward to the food as well when I was going to head over
Yeah, me
there.
too.
I heard it was really good. And yes, I was surprised that a lot of the things that my family had done here, like my dad is not with us anymore, but he always like had like thin slices of ham or cheese for toast in the morning. It sounds kind of funny, but just like make a piece of toast and put a thin slice of ham on it or something. And that's like very traditional for the Czech people to do. And I just like, this is where my dad maybe got this from, or how this was, why we did it at home. Or my grandma made kolaches, and actually one other thing she made was like raspberry dumplings, they were called. She would like make the dough for a dumpling, and then she would put like 3 raspberries in the middle of it, and then actually fold it up and drop it in water. And it was kind of like great, like kind of, well, we had it as a meal. So I guess it sounds more like a dessert, but it was just, they do that over there more with blueberries and raspberries. But obviously my grandma was Czech. So, that's where that came from. And just, just different things. I'm like, wow, it's an eye opener. I guess these things do get passed down, and that's where they come from. So it was, yeah, they eat very well. They eat a lot of whole foods, and more here, I guess, than America, as we try to do things faster and faster here. We go more towards processed foods. Over there, I guess it's a little bit more traditional, that they take a little bit more time with their meals and the preparation for them. It was super to have the meals. It was one of the big things I always look forward to, is this great breakfasts, and the lunch was awesome as well. Every lunch started with soup. A big, everybody had a big soup bowl that was glass, a nice looking soup bowl. I mean, had flour, arrangement on the soup bowl. These were nice bowls, and, kids that are 7 years old are, and the big bowl of soup comes out, and there's probably about 7 or 8 of these big bowls, and everybody gets 1 or 2 ladles of the soup to start the meal. And I thought that was something really neat and traditional that they do, that it's almost like, I guess, a way to like just everybody come to the meal and be a part of it and serve, you get a couple ladles served. So it's a lot of neat things like that. I really
We are all currently looking up blueberry dumplings.
Yeah.
You sent some, right? Sample today while discussing
That sounds like
this.
a coming episode of the Lutheran Ladies Lounge.
Yeah. Let me know if there's anybody who makes them around in America here. I'll try to get
We have
there
kolaches
somehow.
in St. Louis, but
We
I
do
don't
have
know about
kolaches.
blueberry dumplings.
And those look really good.
I'm distracted now.
Was there anything else that you learned that was significant experiences that you had that are going to stay with you for a long time that you experienced while you were there?
Yeah, the relationships with the people that I met there. I mean, like Andra was our associate pastor. He was the kind of the Czech leader with the camp, just a great individual. He was just recently ordained and speaks English as well as an American, and just a blessing to the congregation that we were at. And then, just everybody that you can tell that they care for the kids there. And some of the volunteers are just, the young adults were, super. That I guess one of the biggest things that I wanted to let them know at the end of the service is how much I saw that those young 7 to 12-year-olds look up to the, 15 to 25-year-olds. And we were here for, 1 week or 5 days with the kids, but I just stressed to them that these young ones are, the young adults are just super role models for, how they act and the faith and how they ran the camp with the music and everything. Just, they're there all the time. So I think they just have a great setup, and was glad to be a part of it. Glad we could, be something a little different for them, and, be the people to be kind of the English part of it. And they have a good base there, and I just hope they can continue to feed their faith, and hopefully try to get more people. I guess that's one of the biggest things, is to, try to get more people to come closer to Jesus and our faith. All in all, it was just, really great experience for me.
One of the other volunteers at one of the other camps mentioned that they had a lot of non-Christian children in their group. And at the end of the week, those children were asking the pastor how they could continue to learn about Jesus.
Oh, awesome.
And so we pray that their families are open to that and receptive to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super. After that, we had a couple days right at the end that we had to move out of our retreat center, and we spent a couple days with a couple families. And it was one of the, Daniela was her name. She said, I'm just so grateful you came over here, because when I was a child, I actually became a Christian because of somebody like you. I was introduced at a camp to Jesus.
It sounds like Matt and his team had a great experience serving in the Czech Republic recently at English Bible Camp. Tell us more about opportunities to serve like this English Bible Camp, or other ways that volunteers can serve with LCMS International Mission.
So we are planning to have English conversation partners this fall again. Those will be coming out soon with the dates. But also already the opportunities are posted to serve in the Czech Republic next July. And actually, I tried to get Chelsea Irwin, who's the volunteer coordinator for Eurasia, here on the program today, and she couldn't because she had a wrap-up meeting for the Poland English Bible camps right now. So those are also posted for next August. So there are similar opportunities, and we are almost done with next year's curriculum. So that's something we write every year so that they have this resource to work from for the setting that they need to use it in.
Excellent.
Awesome.
So if I got to serve on one of these teams, would I too get blueberry dumplings?
I cannot guarantee you what they will serve you, but I can guarantee you that you would eat delicious food.
And meet some really awesome people, build some relationships.
Tell people about Jesus.
Exactly.
So if that's something that's of interest to you, those are all posted at servenow.lcms.org.
servenow.lcms.org. Our guest today, Ann Gonzalez, Manager of Short-Term Mission Training and Engagement with LCMS International Mission, and Matt Pleshek, Volunteer with English Bible Camp, serving with LCMS International Mission in the Czech Republic. Thank you so much to our guest today. Thanks, Ann.
Thanks for having us.
It has been really fun learning about this experience. servenow.lcms.org. Thanks for joining us for the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gonzalez.
The Coffee Hour with Andy and Sarah is a production of KFUO. To support the Coffee Hour and KFUO Radio, visit KFUO.org. You can also text KFUO to 41444 or send an email to gifts@kfuo.org. And you can call us at 800-844-0524. KFUO. Christ for you, anytime, anywhere.